Hey everyone, how you doing? It's good to see everybody eager and ready to get started. So we're going to be building some Mousey's Maze game today. Mousey's Cheese Maze. Mousey's Cheesy Maze Zone. Let's just let the countdown finish, and I've got a little bit of something to do with y'all first, while I get my tea in a moment. I put together a slideshow of some of the creations that everybody has made, mostly from the Discord and mostly of Mousey, but there's a couple of other things thrown in there. So with this being Mousey's mini stream, I thought it was a great way to start with some Mousey. So let's bring up the slideshow. So we'll let it loop through. Dylan says, what tea today? It's gonna be black tea. I haven't actually got it, so I'm gonna have to go and grab it in a minute. But I was actually running a little bit behind today. I normally try and have everything ready to go about half an hour before. Hey Arch, how you doing? I should do some hellos while we're looking through the slideshow. Hey Toph. Hi the Coma Nomad, good to see you. Hey Suspicious Duck. Hey GM. Hey Dylan. Hey Bit Bros. Good to see you, Mercy. The Machinchinka? You're new, I believe. Hey, how you doing? Hey New Gems. Hey Gamemations. Hey Luigi. Hey King Boo. Two Mario names in a row there. Obamatone, good to see you. CH390, is that a new profile picture? There's some incredible drawings here. Hey Octavius. Hey StarFoxy24. Hey Miles. Hey Pie Guy Die. That's fun to say. This picture, the oh no picture, made me laugh. And this one here is a follow-up to it, with Savtrat's blocks guy, is it? Defending me from the from the merch crowd. Alright, let's let it loop back round. How's everybody doing today? Suspicious Duck says the moon is a banana in that last one. I think it's meant to be a slice of cheese, but I also like the idea of it being a banana. Dylan says, if you launch merch, will we get a limited time Mousey plushie? I don't know. Mousey Cart 64. That's an incredible name. Okay, so I feel like most people won't recognize this character. This is a character expertly drawn by White there that we created in WarioWare DIY. I think I mentioned him before on one of these streams, but he is a test tube creation made by Wario, and I think his sole mission was to fight Mario. So he's a warrior. So hot in California, wow. We had a sort of hot streak here, but it's cooled off now, and it's been kind of rainy on and off the last few days. Welcome back, Mercy. Alright, I'll be back in a second, chat. I'm gonna grab my tea, and then we're gonna get straight into it. So bear with me 1 second. Alright, chat, I'm back. Thanks so much for waiting. Got a few things on today, so it's all a little bit tight, but I wanted to hang out with you all, so apologies for the delay there. Let's bring down this. Let's bring down this. Let's bring up Game Builder. And let's bring down the music. There you go. Look at that smooth transition. Hey Erica, how you doing? Alright. So. Oh yes, happy Father's Day to everybody who is either celebrating themselves or celebrating with members of their family. So Dylan asked, do you have milk or honey in your tea? I very rarely put honey in my tea. If I'm having it black, I'll just have it as it is. Unless it's something like a mint tea, perhaps. Put some honey in that. I sometimes have milk. Yeah, I do today. Hey, Luna person. Okay, alright. So, yesterday we did some great work on Mouse's cheese maze. Some of you may have seen, some may have not. We did this in the latter half of the stream. And since then, I've done some little tweaks. Since then. So, put a little kind of, whoops. I put a little sort of ring around the pipe, but I still want to do the entrance of the pipe. I sped up the animation on the lava a little bit. Hey GM, it's funny that you mentioned putting a score on the cheese. After Arch was asking yesterday about like the scoring system and whether there'd be a scoring system that overlaps between levels, I was thinking, when this is done, what would I actually like? And I think really I would just like the goal to be to get to the end, but then the bonus points would come from collecting as many cheese as you can. So you could get through the level without collecting cheese, but you really want the scoring system to be based around collecting as much as possible. So I will definitely do that. Yes, Mousey has shading now. I think it looks pretty fresh. The other thing, you won't be able to see it, you won't be able to tell on stream, but look forward to this when it's finally released. There is now a nice little rumble system where when you hold down breathe in, there is vibration on the right Joy-Con, and when you collect the cheese, there is a little like beep on the left Joy-Con when it eats it. Hey Sethstrat, I think you may have missed the showcase of some of your artwork at the beginning of the stream. Oh, I also started testing out blocks. So we were debating having wood on the sides, and it was repeating in a way that was really distressing. So I just thought about having like either paneling or blocks, and this is obviously very, very placeholder, but I kind of like what this is. It's not distracting, looks nice on these corners, and gives a sense of like unit size, you know, world units or whatever. Yeah, somewhere between sort of metal and maybe like Lego bricks. The lava is different, yeah, it moves faster and it's scaled slightly different. The actual texture is the same, it was just weirdly stretched before. Ooh, actually, yeah, Dallas, I like that. So, Dallas says, maybe you can make Mousey inhale special objects that will activate something. Maybe when you inhale all the cheese in a room, the end door will open. Arch, so Arch in chat asks, am I planning on resizing the game soon? I began, tidying up some stuff, believe it or not. You wouldn't know looking at it. And just decreasing the size of some of the, logic node on. But yes, my plan is to do the actual, environment as well. I was a little bit scared about doing it while everything was so messy because I thought I might break something by changing the size of something. So I was just being a bit squeamish. But yeah, before it releases, everything's going to get scaled down so you can see it all more easily. But we have some node-ons now, some text node-ons. So, King Boo asks, why isn't there a cat in this game? It's something that's been suggested in basically every stream since we started, and I've been meaning to do it and just kept getting sidetracked. So I think today will be the day that we include a cat to some degree. And what my thinking is that at least in these early stages, we're never going to see the cat fully. So perhaps in this first stage, it won't even be a hazard. It will just be a sort of decoration where maybe his paw, the cat's paw, is coming up over the top of the map. And just kind of maybe we can use a rotating object to have it rotate between two pivot points. Little Bubby asks, how do I use the swap game node on? So we've covered this previously, but just to kind of give it in the most simple sense, you need the game swap, and in the settings, you need to set a target keyword. So that's the keyword that you will assign to the other game. So just very simply, we'll call the target 2, and then in this game's keyword, we'd call it 1. Although, you don't need to set 1 for this if you're only moving linearly through the levels. And then you would put a swap game node on in your other game and apply 2 to this game's keyword. So in the other one, you put the 1 as this game's keyword. You could also hook this up to, the final checkpoint or a certain touch sensor. Mercy, are you asking me if I have an iPad? I don't at the moment. Arch, we had poison cheese briefly, and the reason I got rid of it was because I wanted to put flies around it, and I, for some reason, couldn't get the flies working. I think this was on like the first or the second stream, but yeah, definitely poison cheese. But I think instead of hurting Mousey, it would probably... Well, I don't know. There's 2 ways we could do it. We could either have it so that you suck the poison cheese in, it collides with Mousey and acts as a restart, so much like falling in the lava. Or we could have it so that it just deducts points and you get like a hurt sound effect. I mean, there's probably even other ways that we could do it. Hey, Shimi. Yeah, the idea of having the cat's paw go out of the mouse holes to try and catch Mousey. So, I think that is a really nice idea. However, I don't know how yet I would differentiate between mouse holes that you're supposed to go into and mouse holes that the cat puts its paw through. So instead of doing mouse holes, what I may do is just like little slits in the wall that the cat pokes its paw through. Right, let's get started. I'm going to do a first introduction to the cat in the first stage, but it's not going to be a hazard yet. We want to ease people into it, so we're going to kind of lay a sort of suggestion to the cat here. Mercy asks, what's my capture setup? I just have a little capture card that's running between the docked version of the Switch to my PC. And then I'm using OBS to capture it and stream it out. Okay, so let's move one step at a time and let's do the cat's paw. And then we'll move on to the poison cheese today, I think. That seems like some good additions. We have also got the second stage over here, but it's kind of a mess, and I probably won't do any more design on this until I have scaled things down a little bit in terms of how big the objects are in the scene. So let us start with a texture. Just going to copy this because it's here. I'm going to blank it out. Now, Mousey is this orange color, so we don't want an orange cat. Black would be nice and stand out from the environment, but maybe we could go for something a little bit more interesting than that. Perhaps it could be a multicolor cat. Let's draw at least the outside of the paw like this. So I think I want quite a cartoony paw. Nothing too serious. Dylan says, why do you say hazard instead of enemy? Was that a question for me? I suppose enemy in my mind is something that has AI and something that is actively seeking out the player character. I suppose something like a lava pit would definitely be a hazard. And I guess I'm calling the cat a hazard because I don't really imagine it's ever going to have AI. It's just going to be something that you avoid. It's essentially like a themed, you know, if in a Mario game you had a platform that rotates and had fire on the underside, you may call it an enemy, but I think more typically you would call it a hazard. I don't know. That's just how my logic works. I don't think there's a right or wrong way with that. But that's my reasoning at the very least. Okay, I didn't give myself much room to put the claws there. Arch says white cat. Yeah, let's give that a go. Maybe we could go white with some spots or something like that. Little Bubby, if GameSwap's not working, it could be to do with the specific setup you have. I would just check that your trigger for the GameSwap is working and that you've got your second level set up to receive as well. How many cats, or how many claws do cats have? 4? Never really thought about it. Five. Everyone's saying 5. Interesting, okay. Would never have guessed 5. I don't know why. Look at that, fearsome. I'm hearing 5s and 4s. Yeah, Sevtrat, that's what I was thinking. Some spots, some darker spots on the paws. Yeah, that sounds good. We have some music on. Might be a nice idea. Yesterday we were listening to the WarioWare soundtrack while we were playing. I might put some Mario Paint music on. Let's turn the music up. Yeah. There we go. The fifth one is on the side. Ooh, okay. Sort of here. Which one would I get rid of? Need to change the spacing here a little bit. A lot higher. Oops. Go the other side. Okay, yeah. Let me do the spots first while I'm thinking about it. Cat owners in chat coming in with the knowledge. So like up here, that seems really wild. In that case, I probably would widen this out a little. Make it more of a paw shape, or a pronounced paw shape. Bring this one down. Correct, okay. The music is so loud. Oh, apologies. Thanks for letting me know. Let me adjust that further. Is it just in relation to my voice that it was so loud? There we go. Thanks GM and BitBros. Apologies to anybody that was getting absolutely blasted by Mario Paint. Make the nails yellow. Yeah, let's see. I was thinking about that and I was worried it would be a bit too scary. Okay. Oh no, there's adverts on this one. Okay, we'll place it on my own music. Bear with me. Okay. Search up cat's paw. I could. I'm okay with this not being the most accurate thing ever. This feels a bit closer to right now, I think. Let's actually just drop it into the scene first of all. Not attached to anything, but okay. So yeah, having some more color on there will really help. Obviously, we've got the pixels that aren't supposed to be there. General shape is okay. My fear is that... So my plan is to have it like appear over the edge of the level. Here. And wiggle back and forth a little bit in an arc. I might need to stretch it so that we don't see the edge of the arm, but we'll know for sure when we get there. Obviously it's going to be attached to an object. No, don't worry about it. Take as long as you need with your creations. Hey, I can definitely attest to that. It's taken me like 10 streams to get this far in this, so yeah, don't worry about it. That sounds cool, MichaelBot 300. Lockflock says you should make an announcement channel. You mean here or on the Discord? Okay, I think the basic concept's right here. I want some more color though. I think maybe more contrast between the separate pieces of the fur. And yeah, I'm going to try the yellow claws. May I suggest using teleporters to teleport the paw in and out of the map? Well, I think in this stage it will probably just appear here and move backwards and forwards. I know exactly the setup that you're suggesting though. It's a good way of having it appear in different spots. Dylan says make brown spots. It's a little bit close to the orange on the walls possibly. I mean, maybe we could go like crazy with it and... No, that's too crazy. Let's do the yellow. Maybe or stripey? No, that doesn't look right. This will already be a little better, I think. The fur black and the spots white. Yeah. I was thinking that, but I just want there to be enough contrast between the line. Yeah, that doesn't look right. It looks like these are eyes, potentially. Could you go a little darker on the grey? I should have named this stream Dom tries 10 different color combinations on a cat's paw. Suspicious Duck says, after you said these look like eyes, I can't unsee it even after you change the color back. This is okay. I think this is working. I think people are saying go for orange or brown. As much as I think that's a perfect color for a cat, it's just too similar to these, especially once we've got the textures on here, which has got the darker orange, which kind of inches towards brown. Should have named it GBG Dev spends hours making textures. Yesterday's stream was mostly... Oh no, sorry, 2 days ago's stream was mostly cheese making, wasn't it? Okay, here's my plan. I'm okay with this as a start, but I think I can do better. And I think the biggest thing is that cat's paws are kind of like this, right? So if this was the arm, the paw itself is kind of like... Wee? 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 Right? Ooh, this looks ferocious. Oh my goodness. Well, the claws are a little intense. Hate animations. Like the other one better. Well, you gotta give it a second, GM. Barely even started. Oh, a UFO attraction node on to catch the player. Like, catch it and shake it about a bit and throw it down. That would be amazing. There might be a sweet spot between these two, because this one looks mean. It's not very cartoony. Obviously, like, don't worry about the nails right now, the claws. They are a mess. Paws don't have thumbs. But I thought that was the point. Like the other one was, wow, that's a big cat. Wasn't this one like the thumb? Hey Thomas. Hey Dylan, it does not sound harsh. Everyone will have different tastes. Let's find the sweet spot between the two of these then, alright? I like that there's a little bit more definition to this. Maybe I should spend a moment to think what the cat will look like. What do I want the cat to look like? Then the paw will come easily. So remember, we gotta keep it in theme with Mousey. Maybe like this. That's an open mouth, not lips. This is also not like a human arm. As it looks currently. GM, what do I want the cat to look like? Me, a cat. So like, I guess animals in this game have pretty big mouths, right? Perfect for eating with. They're not lips, Mercy. It's an open mouth. It's just Homer from yesterday. That's my secret. Everything's just Homer. I think it should be blue. Look at this. This feels cool. I feel like... Yeah, please draw an idea for the cat, that would be awesome. Look, it's leaning over the edge to try and get Mousey. This is a wall. With its claws out. And Mousey's down here, like... It looks like an eggplant from Ice Climbers. I think it should be a blue cat. I don't know why, but... Blue will work against the orange. Okay, well, let's keep this here as our reference. Now, I definitely want to go curved. Curved. Arch is fine with the blue. I'm definitely going... Yeah, I'm definitely going more curved. Alright, let's give this a go. Also, I plan on having a title screen, like an in-game title screen. So we can show the cat in the title screen, so people will have a little bit more... It'll be less of a shock when it's blue. This is meant to be a bit of a thumb. I'm going for a bit of a thumb. Yeah. See you later, Dylan. The more I listen to this track, the more I might think this is my favorite from GBG. There is cat noises. This is looking okay to me. This feels like the best one so far. It's somewhere between the two. I think there can be some more work on the shaping here, but just as a general starting point. Hey Kirby! Kirby Super, I should say. We're just working on a cat paw. Yeah, this feels right to me. I mean, I'll tidy it up. I want to work on the movement now. Zaylin coming in with, like, straight truths. Zaylin says, "It looks epic. Good thing your gaming skills aren't as good as your making skills, lol." I'm not exactly sure how to take that. But I like it. Alright. We'll leave these here just in case for now. Oh, I'm sorry, Shiimi. Hope your cough gets better soon. Hedge N3S, how do you download other games from the codes in Game Builder Garage? If you go to Receive from Free Programming, receive from online, and you enter in the code. Then once you've entered the code, it'll pop up and it will say want to download it. Just download it from there. Hey Renes. I'm sorry, Mercy. I'm pretty set on the blue cat now. Oh yeah, the cat's tail should definitely be an obstacle arch. Okay. Let's get a box. So, I forget exactly how to set up rotating objects. I did it in my secret project, but I kind of bodged it a little bit, I think. So if we go to special objects, rotating objects, rotating box. Now, I'm pretty sure what I'm going to have to do, connect this up to this, right? And then we'll work out the actual movement itself in a minute, but let's just put a constant into, what would it be? It'd be the X rotation, wouldn't it? But then don't I have to attach, I think I have to attach this to an object also. Oh, you're welcome, Hedgen. So this won't work right now, I don't think. Something weird's gonna happen. An anchor point, yeah. So if I put another box in... and make it... I'm gonna leave visible on for a second. That'll be our anchor. So it would set something like this. And we had... let's just go own minus Z to target connection points plus Z. And then here do own center to target center. Yeah, go for it, Tom. GM. Sorry. Feel free to add me. Let's move this all down here so it's a little bit easier to work out what's going on. Yeah, sure, Thomas. I don't know why, oh, I bet the heights are wrong, aren't they? I feel like that's the first thing I need to check every time I do anything. Taking me all this time to realize that I nearly always spawn stuff in below the ground. Okay, so I got the axis wrong. Oh yeah, of course, because it uses this, doesn't it, as its reference point for it. It's going to spawn the things now. That needs to be as big as the paw. And the paw needs to just appear on the... Wait, hang on. Whoa, 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 what did I just do? That's a cheese there, isn't it? Probably easier to use a hinge connection. Do you think? Because it... I've never used a hinge connection. Is it, does it limit the range? Oh, right. Hinge connection. Right, yeah, definitely would, wouldn't it? Yeah, nice. Good shout on that. Let's do this then. I'm just gonna scrap this for a second. Unnecessarily complicated. I think I'm gonna build out here and drag Mousey out here while I work. Thomas, you were, I shared my friend code in the Discord, so you would be able to add me, with that. Okay, let's have a look at the hinge. Nice, so we've got some rotation range options here. That's interesting. Wait, so connected objects will swing freely within their selected range. You can control their exact angle by providing an input to this node on. An input of 10 will result in 10 degrees of rotation. So if you just plug something in this, is it going to rotate even without an input? Because that will be the first object I've seen, or the first connection I've seen that can just move by itself, essentially. Oh, rotate with physics. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Alright. Thanks, Suspicious Duck. I forget, Thomas. If you search the word friend code in the top right, I'm sure you'll find it. It was a couple of days back. Do you still need an anchor on a hinge? Probably, right? Yeah, alright. Abdelaziz says it should be connected to another object. Got it. I guessed it would be the case. It's good to have a confirmation. Man. Let's leave it visible for now. I'm probably just gonna do one connection point. Wrong way around, right? There we go. So that should be connecting that to that. Now for this we probably want to go same again, right? Oh, own connection point. Yeah. Did I get this wrong here? When you have a chain of objects like this, which object is the one that determines its position within space? Because not all three of these need to be up at this height, right? But I don't know which of the... Got it on the wrong axis. It's cool though, we made a flap. We made a cat flap. That's our old score. Completely forgotten about that. It's the anchor that determines the position. Okay, nice. That's good to know. Yeah, of course, this is the wrong axis, isn't it? I need to be rotating on the Z. Right, it won't do it without an input because now we don't have the physics to apply to it. So, what was it? It was... You can control their exact angle by providing an input to this node on. An input of 10 will result in 10 degrees of rotation. If we go constant, and we go 50, 60, 40? I don't know, it doesn't really matter for the test. Helps if I connect it. You need a counter to make it spin. You can't just feed it a single one. Oh, right, okay. Right. So, yeah. We'll go constant into a counter with a range. I guess bounce, right? Between 0 and 40. Is the anchor solid? No. Should it be? Or does it not matter? I didn't connect it again. Okay, I got the axis wrong again. How did I... There we go. Okay. So let's put the range between like minus 30 and plus 30. It's alive! There we go. That's the start of our cat's paw. So we are connected here. Oh, I'm in side view, aren't I? That's why I kept getting the axis weird. Yeah, Y rotation, of course. So we've got that there. Set it to only appear on, it should be Y again, right? Y plus. I mean, it could be Y centered too, it doesn't really matter. There we go. Need to turn the visibility off from the box. How did I get attract object to work on my mouse? So here's my attract object. A is just a wormhole going to button press. So when I press the button, the signal goes to a counter. The reason it's going to a counter because... why is it going to a counter? Oh, because yeah, I don't know whether this was the smartest way to do it, but the smartest way. I wanted it to reset the counter for some reason. And then I mapped it. The reason I mapped it was because 1 was way too strong. It was causing the cheese to like fly around. And then the attract object is connected up to the snout of Mousey, basically. The cylinder here represents it. So if I turn the visibility on here, you can see the cylinder, which is the area of attraction in front of Mousey. And it's connected, it has that little bit of wobble because it's connected to the ears, which are connected to the body with a bit of flexibility. Counter determines the speed. Are you talking about the paw? Cash money? Or the speed at which... Because I think the map would determine the speed or the power of the suction, right? The attraction. because I'm mapping 0 to 1 down to 0 to 0.25, because I think if I go to 1, it's just like super intense. I don't know, I did it a couple of days ago. I might be misremembering. Make it Y center, says Arch. Make it Y center, right, referring to the texture. Suppose it'll be nice and level with the box then, the anchor point. Hey, this is not a question for like today's stream, but could you do an ease in and an ease out on a hinge? Oh yes, talking about the hinge connection. Right, yeah. I'm okay with this speed. So if I guess that's sort of answered my next question, right? Which was, could you do an ease in and an ease out? I guess you could have it so that you adjust the speed when a certain angle is reached. That'd be nice. That'd be cool. Okay, so let's drop this over here and see whether that brings everything with it. Oh yeah, I need to use Mousey too. I also need to turn off the visible on the attract object. Awesome. Also, hi Cash Money. Oh, 14 node on short, as in you don't have enough? I'm sure there's ways you can simplify. That's interesting, isn't it? So it's not based on the position of the anchor, which would have made a lot of sense. It's based on the actual object itself. Huh. Look at that weird little, like, bobble. Oh, right. Is this one got, is this one solid? This one's solid. I kind of don't hate that bobble, though. It looked a bit more natural. Where the thing was intersecting with its anchor point, I guess? Yeah, Arch in chat says, I think you have to use an angle node on to do some sine, cosine maths for smooth movement. It's one of those things where I can totally imagine, but I would never be able to do it. Alright. Looking good. Let's go into position. I wanted to overhang as much as possible without you being able to move up to the point where you can see the end of the texture. Whoops. Whoops. Double whoops. Triple whoops. There we go. That's alright. Pretty happy with that. The bob was because of the wall. Oh, it was making contact with the wall, not with the anchor box, the anchor object. That's funny. Okay, so this can come forward a bit. Yeah, kind of as much overhang as possible, really. Alright, that's too much now. Let's knock it back. Maybe one? See if we can get away with it. Man, having people that actually know what they're doing in this game in chat is powerful. It's incredible. I'm so appreciative. Bob says, great use of the comments. You being sarcastic about this BGM comment node on that just has 2 disconnected node on it. You think, yeah, Arch, you are probably right. I kind of didn't want to use 2 textures on this. I mean, what if I just get stretchy? Let's see how bad it looks. Hey Ninstar, I think that may be the first time I've seen your name in chat. How are you doing? Good to see you. Ninstar says, it is very simple to use a sine and or sin and co. I guess, is that sine and cosine? Is that how it's pronounced? For animations. See it as a normalized value and multiply it with the value you want. Okay. Yes, I understand everything now. That seems like a very, very clear explanation, but my my brain is too smooth. Hey, NinjaCraft Club plays. Hey, Stein. Yeah, the stretch doesn't look too bad, right? Yeah, sine and cosine. Okay, I thought it was, but I suddenly had a little bit of doubt. So somebody earlier was saying have the same paw teleport around the map. What if... Would it be too distracting, do you think? So building on that suggestion, would it be too distracting, you think? Or maybe it would just be too tricky to have it just appear anytime you get near the wall edge? I suppose it might be more work than it's worth. I kind of want to have key spots where it turns up, I think. Hey, Willem. Willem says you have to make enemies. Yeah, I definitely will do. We're still in the early stages of the level progression, and I don't want it to be too tough. I think I like the collect all the cheese to unlock the doors. Hey, Shroomful. Good to see you. Reban asks, any plans to have Mousey appear to be doing a walking motion, like do a slight bounce? Mousey appears to be on wheels. Yeah. I wonder how I could simply implement walk. Not in terms of the mechanical implementation, I think that would be pretty straightforward. I'm just thinking kind of in terms of the sprite. It'd be funny to have like a little ripple move down Mouse's body while moving, which could accelerate with the pace of the movement, like the alternation between the 2 sprites. Yeah. Should add, Kirby Super says you should add a lock or something to show you need to collect all the cheese to open the mouse holes. What have I done while you were gone? I don't know how long you've been gone, but we do have the cat's paw working now. There, in its first form at the very least. Hey, Master David. I've got an idea, right? So we're gonna do a touch sensor. I always think that sensors should be input. I guess it makes total sense that they're in objects in the way that they're treated, but the but to me, I just kind of default think they're going to be in here. So let's do a touch sensor, which we're going to do as a cylinder, I suppose, and we're going to have it for the UFO. We're going to leave it visible right now and change it to on touch. And do output, play sound. Is the cat noise in instruments? I think it might be, right? Do you think these were humans making cat noises? Or are they real cats? Hang on, let me just pause the music for a second so we can really appreciate the noises. They kind of sound like humans doing cat noises to me. That's probably a cat, but listen to this one. That's just a voice actor in a booth somewhere doing a cat noise, right? I might use this one and then pitch it down. This one's good though. Either C sharp or E. Let's do like a -2 into pitch. Just see how that sounds. Public domain cat meows, maybe. Oh, that's too that's too low. Sounds like a Minecraft zombie. So let's go up to like 0.6. Did that even go down? Oh, right, yeah. Minus -1. I messed it up. Some of these are terrifying when they're pitched down. I think I like this one, but not so pitched down. Dying cat sounds, oh no. See, this is where having like a reverb effect would be incredible. Revan says, sounds like the cat is disappointed it didn't get Mousey. Oh, okay, so we should also definitely have a randomize between so that every time you go in, the pitch shifts slightly. Where is that? Random. So what's the output range? Oh man, are we gonna have to map it? I didn't realize that random can't go into minus. Okay, so let's say it can go between -1 and 0. So that's range of 10. Right? Does it just do whole no, mapping isn't so hard. It's just being a baby, basically. Map. Invert. You can invert random. Oh, just use an inverter of the output. Right, yeah. But now I'm gonna have to make the... Hey Harry, I'm good. We're just working on Mousey's game at the moment. Right, so... Oh boy, hang on. Messed that right up. Disconnect constant from random. Make the random connected to touching the UFO. Right. Yeah, because that's going to give us an input of 1, right? All right, Willem. Enjoy your noodle. And then we want a range of like point. You can only go a range of 1 on this. You can't do decimal points. So we're still gonna have to map it, right? Sure, friends. I like potatoes. They're not my favorite staple, but I enjoy them. There's lots of things you can do with potato. There is range there, right? Oh, I'm still gonna have to map. Okay. So I may as well map after inversion? Thanks, NinjaCraft. We've been working on it during this stream. There are certain things that I hope I start kind of getting used to the logic of. So once we get into like conversion, and I don't know whether this is just because I'm not yeah, map does already have inversion. That's a good shout, Arch. I don't know whether this is just because I'm not like math brained typically. That I don't, yeah, it's taking me a while to get into a mindset where I could instinctively say what I need to do here. And there is a lot of sort of trying things, getting them wrong, trying again. If we're inverting it, oh, Harry. Harry says, don't put yourself down, Dom. You're both great at maths and have a flawless memory. Yeah, exactly. Speaking of my flawless memory, I forgot to put the music back on. Input range. Okay, I need to just take a minute to work out what I'm doing here. Because I could follow along your steps, Arch, but I've kind of lost track of what the inputs are and why I'm changing things. So I just, if I can, I want to take a minute to try and figure it out. I might not be able to, but I just want to, like, logically work through it for me. So, the touch sensor is what's giving us our output once the UFO comes into contact with it. So we get it coming out of here as 1, right? My understanding is you can only have 0 or 1 out of this. When the random receives an input, it gives us a number between 0 and 10. Which we are then mapping to something new. So we want 0 to 10 in our input range, so we make full use of the random. I'm sort of trying to work this out. No. Okay, so just to be clear, Egg says no backseating check. Programming is all about figuring out alone and feeling the accomplishment. Not at all for me. I've loved having these things be collaborative on working through this, and there has been things added like last stream and this stream that would never have happened if I was sat here doing this on my own. And Arch has been incredible talking through this stuff. We've had lots of really great people in the chat helping out, and I want to refer back to what Arch is going to talk us through, but I'm just trying to take a moment to figure out myself so I can say, all right, yeah, I understand what you've said, because otherwise I would just be sort of following the steps without making it make sense for me, and hopefully for other people watching. So yeah, I appreciate that too, Egg, but with some of these bits, it's nice to have a back and forth. So Mr. Cheerio says, how do you make a movable game screen? If you've got a player character, you can attach it up to the player character and it'll follow them. Okay, so our input range is 0 to 10. And if at any point I'm completely off track, by the way. Hey Chuck, yeah, we've talked about poison cheese. It was kind of the next on the table for things to implement after this cat paw. So, input range is 0 to 10. And we're going to go into our output range, we're going to go 0 to -1 tops. We don't need to invert it, right? Because we can go into the negatives. I think this might be it. Let's just make it kind of extreme. Oh, it's not connected up. There we go. Nice. So was I following Arch? Is that correct? I mean, we don't want it to go that low, but I enjoyed setting it that low for a reference. 1.6, let's say. Ooh, Mr. Cheerio asks how to make the game screen movable by a stick. Can you hook a stick directly up into a game screen? I think you would need to attach it to a moving object of some kind. Nice. Awesome. Thank you, Arch. Yeah, and apologies if it sounded like I was saying don't tell me. That was not it at all. It was like, I just wanted to make sure I was understanding. A little bit like yesterday when we were here and I had a way of doing it in my brain that was not lining up what was happening here. But once I'd figured it out, it made total sense. I'd kind of like to know how everything that I put into this works. Yeah, the plan is to eventually have a title screen, Chuck. Alright, so right now the touch sensor is set to center on this, right? Whereas I think it needs to be a little bit more like this. How to make checkpoints? It really depends on the setup of your game. Oh no, wrong side. So sometimes you could use teleporters to act as checkpoints. So here we teleport into this space, and when you die, you're technically being teleported back to a previous point, rather than to the beginning of the game. So here, if you fall into this... Oh, I disabled it. But if there was a teleporter there, you would get thrown back to this last checkpoint, not the start of the game. But there are plenty of other ways that you could implement it. Oh, I didn't check the cat spore. Nice, that means you're onto something, GM. It means it's working. Okay, cool. Happy with that. It's looking good. Let's turn off visible. Get tidier. Okay. Can put these, comment these later. Yeah, so poisonous cheese is something I would like to figure out. I haven't got a huge much longer on the stream. Wow. Suspicious Duck says final boss, Mousey eats a mega mushroom and fights the cat. Yeah, so how do we want to do this? Do we want it so that the cheese actually kills Mousey, or it puts like a status effect? I saw somebody saying put something over the screen, which is kind of interesting. Maybe... Yeah, I don't know. Let's have a think. Hey, Ramona. Oh, invert the controls for a while. Yeah, like he's sick. That would be cool. I like the idea of a game that increases in challenge when things happen rather than just straight up kills you. Let's make our cheese green for a moment. We don't need to texture it yet. So... Alright, hang on. I need a moment. So if we've got it so that once the... So the poison cheese is going to have a fancy object, isn't it? Because we already have blocks and destroying blocks, and it'll be hard to differentiate... Oops, sorry. It'll be hard to differentiate the cheese types if we don't put a fancy object inside it. So I'm pretty sure we will need... an object. We've used an apple on that other level, so let's go... let's do... Which one's the pufferfish? This one, right? I guess the pufferfish would have to be larger than the... Well, probably won't matter actually. So then... Where is the object break? But I need to separate out as a new break. Fish. There you are. Man, is cylinder maxed out? Yeah, I forgot about that. So if we just check, I want to make sure this is going to destroy both. Hey, nice, the LOL crew. The UFO that I've got set on this. Huh. Destructible to everything. It's gonna be a problem, isn't it? Hey, Curb! Cannon Wolf just did one too. Amazing. Man, the other danger of the other danger of working on something so slowly is that you forget how everything works. So I need to take a minute to figure this out. So I think I need to put fish in here. Okay, that's on. So now I think I should be able to destroy this. Oh, right, yeah, it's the cylinder, isn't it? No? Yes, Kool-Aid, there was so much stuff being made, I wanted to make sure that it all got seen. Is it just above the cylinder? Is that what's happening? Oh! Attraction's not on. So is it not pulling it into the spot? This is fun. I like trying to work out these things. What is triggering the destruction node on? The press of the button. So you should only be able to destroy things once it's pushed down. Can we just turn visible on this so I can see what it actually is and whether it's making contact with it? Okay, so it's just... That's just the sphere around... Mousey. But I seem to think the destruction happens elsewhere, right? Let's make this one visible and have a look. Don't worry, the fish won't. The fish isn't really here. We're just using it as a reference. So this is attracting the fish, but it's just not destroying it. Is this what somebody was talking about the other day, where you can't destroy fancy objects, or you can't destroy them when they're attached to stuff? I seem to remember seeing a comment in passing earlier in one of the streams previously. Oh, the height's wrong here. Hang on. Yeah, destructible is enabled. And the bit that should be... This should be enabling destruction. Where is it? Oh, I'm in the wrong view. This should be enabling destruction with the click of a button. But even separated... So Suspicious Duck says maybe disable collision on the box and enable collision on the fish. But even disconnected, the fish still doesn't seem to be destructible. Things can't break if they're not solid. Ah, Kirby Super, that might be it. Because it's... Oh, it is solid. It's not going to be that, right? It's not going to be because it's slippy? Weird. So, the reason I'm not just making this cylinder destroy fish, which I guess will work straight away, is because then you just be able to run into it and destroy it. No, so even that's not working. Interesting. Yeah, Lucas, I don't know whether it was you that suggested that earlier in the stream, but I like that idea a lot. I think what I'm going to go for is the inversion of controls when we eat the poison trees. Yeah, the fish is destructible. There we go. That's what it was. I set it to UFO, but it's not a UFO that's destroying it. It's a cylinder. We got him. We figured it out. This will be it. This will totally be it. What? Why is it not that? I thought for sure we had it. Click on the fish and check its... and change its destroy properties. Well... I don't want to make it destructible to everything, really, because... Is it a cylinder, or is it a sphere? It's a cylinder. And... yeah, this is true game dev. This is like the real game dev experience right here. Object-shaped cylinder. Let's just take a moment and like really parse what we have here, because it's all a bit messy and we're changing a few things at once and it might be easy to miss an obvious thing. So on button press, we turn destroy object on for box and fish, which is associated with this cylinder object here. Then in our properties in box, we actually have the box destructible to everything, so maybe we should do that to the fish as well. It's visible, it's solid, it's movable. Okay. It works now! What? Was it just the fact that it wasn't selected as... Abdelaziz says, maybe because the cylinder is not solid, but it is. Oh, the cylinder. No. That shouldn't matter because it works with the box. So it's working now. The only thing I changed is I made it that I made it destructible to everything. So destroy object is what's destroying it, not the cylinder itself. Right. Right. Yeah, okay. So if we didn't want to make it destructible to everything, there isn't just like a destroy object setting, right? That's weird. No, Ramona, destructible means can be destroyed. Only check destroy object checkmark. Only check destroy object checkmark. Where is that? On fish. Okay, alright, nice. Thanks, everyone. Haha, beautiful. Good work, gang. No, the cylinder... So, this is where I was getting confused. So the cylinder itself doesn't need to be destructive because the destroy object is actually what's destroying the fish and the cheese. It's just connected to the cylinder. Yeah, I never noticed there was a specific destroy object. It's kind of weird that it's just in with everything rather than separated it out. Good spot. Yeah, and Ramona, do not apologize. No need to apologize. Easily done. Cool. Alright, so let's get back to what we were planning on doing. Which is making Mousey sick. So we need a break object input, right? Object break. Fish. It's making it big right now, but I need to get out of that habit. I need to zoom in more. And then is it going to be just invert controls? Alpha Dream Take says GG fish. Yeah, let's make this cheese nasty. So on break of fish, we're gonna need it's gonna be moldy cheese. Yeah, I keep referring to it as poison cheese, but it's gonna be moldy and it's gonna make Mousey sick. So what I'm thinking of here is, hey Toa, there is a few things that need to happen in order for this to work, and we need to work out how we're gonna do this. So when the fish is broken, I want the controls to be inverted, as was suggested by Arch, for let's say 10 seconds. And then it needs to return to normal. So we only want the output for this to be sustained for 10 seconds, right? Is that that's going to be the first step. So when it receives it, when it receives a input of 1, yes, the stream will be back to normal tomorrow. Where are your input nodons? You should put it near them. Good shout. Arch keeping me tidy. Really appreciate it. Here they are. Time will be easier. That's what I meant, actually. Yeah, good shout. Oops. Oops. Speed clicking the X button there. So, run the input for 10 seconds. So there's going to be a couple of different ways we can do basically every step in this chain, right? You know what I'm going to do right... For now, while we're troubleshooting this, I'm going to add an input on X. So we can just test it. So when we press X... Oh, not X, because that changes the... Let's do... You know what, let's just do SR, because I don't think that's used for anything in this... Okay, so it's outputting 1 for 10 seconds on button press. So that's, the button press is just replicating the object break thing right now, just so we can test this. Actually sticking around for 10? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I counted too fast. That's 10 though, right? It just looked like it was jumping way, way sooner than 10. So then, I guess I need an invert. Something like this. Oh, hang on, I need 2 different inverters, right? Hey Christoph, we're building a top-down mouse game. Kirby, yeah, so that makes sense. Kirby Super says, have your control stick run through a multiply calc so you can invert them. Can you not just invert directly like this? Because if I can do this, and then just have a... I would use an AND here. Sorry, I'm just reading chat, and Suspicious Duck says, I think you'll also need something to disable the sticks inputting normally. I can do a NOT and an AND, or some combination of those things, so that when the timer is running, it we not these, right? Then you have to specify whether to take input from the inverted or normal controls. Easier but less reliable. Interesting. See, this is what I love. Like, there's probably about 4 different combinations of things that people are thinking of right now. Is the general consensus that doing multiply calc the way to go? Because I'm happy to do it. This is just where my brain first went to. Use a multiplier to control input. Normally multiply the stick input by 1. Multiply by 0 to disable. Okay, that seems to be what everybody's suggesting, so... Use a multiplier to control input. Man, can you I'm not saying anything, but you can hear like the cogs going in my brain, I'm sure. Okay, so we calc by 1, we multiply by 1 in the calculator for normal movement. Hey Emma, no need to apologize for being late. Thanks for stopping by. Whoops, hang on. The cogs have completely stopped, says the lore crew. They're still going. They've got like there's some dust and dirt in there, but they're still slowly kind of grinding around as I figure this out. I'm not sure I understand your message, Christoph. Okay, so Kirby Super says, if you multiply the control stick by -1, then it will invert the controls. Yeah, I get that bit. Ramona, it's not cogs, it's Mousey's mouse wheel, yes. It's just an empty cavern with a little mouse wheel in it. I get the inversion part, but I'm just thinking about this, so... Would I actually be wanting to use the times by 0 here? Will it allow me to multiply by 0 and then... Oh, no, yeah, because I want 1 because then I'm going to invert it to minus 1. Alright. Maybe I spoke too soon when... And the inverter is going to come out of... It's going to be this side, right? Get out of here. What a messy space. What a messy workspace. Okay. Yes, people can see this, Mr. Beast. What happens if you divide by 0 in GBG? Your switch flies off into space and explodes. Could also use the subtract calc to subtract 2 from 1 to make -0, says Kirby Super. How much longer will it be live? Not long, I've actually already overrun. I just want to figure this out. I should have stopped already. I just need to figure this out. And then we'll wrap it up for today. So movement's not going to change here. Disable the visibility on the brake. And then here, we're going to go... So the not's going to come... Oh, wait, no, sorry. The inverter is going to come afterwards. Can't wait to finally play Mouse's Cheese Maze. It's gonna be a while at this rate. Just can't stop adding pointless things. Okay, so the knot's gonna go... wait, hang on. Where in the chain do we want to invert it? So this is just normal movement. They're the inputs. Is the inversion gonna go... here? So, like, not... Oh, yeah, okay. Should take place before multiplying. But we're not inverting that, are we? We're inverting this. Why at 516? I can't stop putting in pointless thing. Puts in a ×1 node on. 1 to -1. Inverting should take place before multiply. Change the 1 to -1. Oh, this from the constant. Right, so it's inverted now. That is working. So, okay. Yeah, that's a good question. See you tomorrow, GM. Stein says... Okay, so to clarify, Wyatt is asking why we want it inverted. We want it inverted for a short period of time while Mousey eats a cheese that makes it sick. So that we've got like a timer and everything set up. But then Stein says, can't you just do a -1? Wouldn't it be simpler if we just had a constant with 1 and a constant with -1 and we had a like a not and an and in between? Hey, Levitar. I mean, let's keep going with this. It's another one of those where I'm wondering why one thing is better than another. Not because I think my way is gonna be better. It's just nice to understand things. Maybe that could work. mean, let's keep going. I feel like we're basically there. I just need to figure out this. So we want it to not invert. We want it to not invert this. No. Yo, why is this, Mousey's here, this is Mousey's game. We're just figuring out this bit for Mousey. Why does the object break need to be so big? No reason. Man, I feel like I'm completely blanking on this. We want it to invert when the timer is happening. Oops, sorry. Sorry, chat. So, when the timer is running, send input to this. And not... No. So that's not right. So the inversion is working, but we need it to invert. That's working. When I invert when object breaks, then invert again after timer, I assume. What if an else node on? Yeah, I mean, you can make an else, right? There isn't an else node on, but you can do it. So right now, this section is working. It inverts it for 10 seconds on button press. So we're using a button press to simulate the object breaking. Then for 10 seconds, it's now, I'm moving the left stick up, and he's moving down, and it's moving up. And eventually, that will stop. So that's working. We've got that bit down. But it's now figuring out what the combination of things is to have it so it's... The knot needs to go in somewhere. I don't know why this is proving to be so tough for me. I mean, it's fun figuring it out. Shimi saying, the best hours of my life. Watching me scratch my head. Am I maybe an and could help. Is this it's the constant that's throwing me off, right? But we do need a constant. Moses X Lab says audible confusion. Okay, I'm gonna do another one of my little trace backs. So when the fish breaks, or in this testing environment when we press SR, for 10 seconds you send an inversion signal to the calculator. So it's -1. But normally we want this and this. not this. Right. So... What about a map node on? I don't think we'll need a map node on. Yeah, Arch is saying one constant and a not timer on. There we go. Ah, oh, that's it, isn't it? And now, yeah, there we go. Ugh, that's so straightforward. I don't know why. I don't know why. We're there. Chat, we did it. Arch, thanks so much. That worked. So we just need to repeat that for the other one. So everyone, I'm sighing because I've done the not and so many times before. In fact, is it over? Isn't that exact same setup like here for the button press thing? But I was just completely blanking. It's literally, I mean, it's basically the same thing. All right, so let's go again. I'm gonna do some shuffling. Why are the calcs so big? Why is everything so big? You need to rest. I've got to wrap up in a second. I'm just going to repeat this so I don't forget how to do it before next stream. I mean, that's honestly, that's oh, just connect it to both. Right. Out of here. No, I connected in the wrong spot. Connect the constant to. Thanks, Levitar. I'll definitely check out things that have been added to the Discord after I've finished. I can't wait. Can't wait to have a look. There we go. Yeah, got it. Thanks, Arch, I just realized. There we go. "10 seconds might be too long, but that's working." Oh, we got there in the end. Thanks for being so patient, chat. Whoops. Thanks for being so patient, chat. I Yeah, I was blanking so hard on that. So I want to have a status effect that appears when Mousey is drunk on poison cheese. Nice one, Arch. Thanks. Hang on. I owe you a big thanks on that one. So let's say poison. Oops. One more try. Oh man. Tail sprite poison. Getting the celebration song to really add to the party feeling now that we've done it. Oh yeah, I'll take out the SR, don't worry. Thanks, Arch. Yo! Pegasus X! Holy smokes! Pegasus X with 50 Canadian. That's incredible. Thanks so much. With a little smiley face. Obviously very pleased to see Mousey's inversion controls working. That is a lot of moolah. Oh my goodness. Hang on, let me I should probably put a little something in here. Let me tidy this up in a second. So, I really wasn't expecting that. Thanks again, Pegasus X Uwu. Maybe I'll think of something else to do, but for the time being, let's say special thanks. Bear with me, chat. Oh, one day I will not immediately delete it when I type something in. I feel like normally I start the stream by playing your levels, obviously, and usually failing at them. Today I've got all of the failing into this this building section of the stream. Comment special. Yeah, exactly. Bear with me, I want to make sure I get your name correct. There we go. That was incredible. Thank you so much, Pegasus X. Pegasus X Uwu. So somebody was asking how many node on. We are now up to the grand total of 228. So, you know, not doing too bad for saying we've got quite a lot in here. I'm going to add a texture to this cheese. And then I'm going to have to call it for today. Sponsored by Pegasus, yes. Yes, I know what Uwu means. But I was reading their name. So, 228 still seems low. Yeah, I feel very fortunate. I suppose it's because there's not actually much happening yet in reality. I mean, it's going to multiply once we start getting the poison cheese textures in, I suppose. Ooh, the LOL crew, that sounds cool. 50-50 chance that Mousey escapes the cheese, the mouse traps with cheese in hand. So I want to mimic these 3 shades in green. I'll do the flies another day, but I just want to get the colors in. So let's go here, here, and here. Try that. Ooh, that looks really rough. Rat Race Stage 3 is in the 400s. Is that because of the amount of objects you're using? For the paths, the pathways. I suppose that must be really bumping it up. Bluish mold. See how this looks. Don't know if I love the blue. Might be to do with the shade. Let's keep it simple for now. That's my motto. Keep it simple for now. There's plenty of times to overcomplicate things later. Awesome, Cash Money. I'll check it out. Looking forward to getting back into playing everybody's levels tomorrow. Yeah, so that's not super working for me. But I'm probably gonna call that working for now, just because I do need to wrap up. Oh no, Mousey's sick. Yeah, we definitely need to get some like, oh, so it's still messed up. We definitely need to get swirlies around Mousey's head. Hey Mustard, in classic fashion you were here for the outro. Yeah, you did. You've got the sixth sense for knowing when I'm about to finish. Thank you so much for everybody that joined today. I know this was a little bit of a different setup to usual. I feel like we got so much done in a relatively short period of time. But I suppose in a way, when we divide up the streams, we end up spending about this long on Mousey's anyway. We got the cat's paw, we got the sound effect that randomizes. Thanks to everybody in chat for helping out with the randomization, or sorry, the inversion of the controls. Special thanks to Arch on that. And a huge shout out to Pegasus X. That was out of nowhere, and is incredibly kind. Yeah, Mousey's coming along nicely. I was planning on having this out way sooner, but I think I was being over-ambitious in terms of the timescale, as I quite often am with these things. Somebody was earlier asking about, can I continue making tutorials? And I have one that's been in the pipeline for like a week now. And other things have been coming up, and it's been kind of pushed aside a little bit. But I'm going to be back onto that properly tomorrow. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Yeah, it's the end of the stream for today because we're doing a slightly shorter one than usual. I can't wait to share the game with you, the Lore Crew. That will be a lot of fun when people are able to play this and remix this and expand upon it. Let's bring down the music and say goodbye. In fact, let's see the stream out with some nice artwork here. See you tomorrow, everybody. Thanks again for hanging out. As always, it's very, very cool. Really nice to spend some time together. Yeah, definitely, Dallas. Remix the game and add some levels. That would be awesome. Chicken Games, I missed the stream. Don't worry, it will be up as a video soon as this is done. Lavatar, the tail moves with a timer and 2 sprites that it alternates between. Alright, everybody. I will catch you tomorrow. Have fun. Stay safe. Stay hydrated. Peace. Bye-bye.